Welcome to the family room on Radio Africana, wherever you are. This is Radio Africana, and this is a space where we talk parenting, family life, culture, and purpose with a heart and honesty. Can we just take a moment to say thank you? Thank you to God who has made us to be alive today. Thank you to the families that are listening. Thank you to our listeners that have joined us on TikTok. This is the family room. Thanks for always joining me. I am Kemi Bangwishi. And we have seen the last day. Yeah. The last day of another month, and we're going to see another month, a new month. That's the March, the month. And you know, I'm just excited because March is starting tomorrow, and I don't want anybody to say, yeah, is it because you are a female? I'm happy because the month of March, that's when we celebrate Mother's Day. Then we also celebrate the Women International Women's Day. So it's always an exciting moment for me. To every family navigating live in the UK, across Europe, in the US, Canada, wherever you are, congratulations, you made it through. Because sometimes, you know, in migration, we focus so much on survival that we forget our dreams. Yeah, a lot of us forget our dreams. We just want to restrict ourselves to the 9 to 5, and then we forget our dreams. But today I've got someone interesting, an amazing woman, and we're going to be talking about raising dreamers, because I'm a dreamer, she's also a dreamer, and I believe everyone out there is a dreamer. And especially if you have migrated, you've got a passion, you've got a dream. So this tonight episode is to awaken you if you're still sleeping, is to ginger you if you're still taking a back seat. So tonight I'm speaking to a phenomenal African woman, a writer, a mother, and a migrant in the UK, who turned a simple school story reading into something powerful. She wrote an animal storybook in Yoruba language, inspired by her child's school experience in England. Please, everyone, join me as I welcome Taiwo to the family room. Thank you. Taiwo, how has been the journey for you? We are so proud of you. And before we deep dive, let me introduce tonight's topic for our listeners again, in case you're just joining us. So it's raising dreamers while becoming one. And so we're going to also be talking about, the role of storytelling in discipline and influencing our children. So, us back, how did a school story reading day in England turned you into writing a Yoruba animal storybook? Because it was that thing that I saw that actually caught my attention when I saw Kiniu, when I saw Igbo Rumole. For people that are listening that you don't understand, Taiwo actually went to our child's school. She's going to talk about, don't let me even talk about it. I saw a book she wrote, and that book actually is on Amazon. You can get a copy on Amazon, and it's in the local dialect, an African language called Yoruba. And because she went somewhere, I don't want, let me just leave you to talk about it. So let me leave you. You should please take us back on how you did a school story reading, and you turned it into writing a Yoruba animal story book.
Okay, so let me just do a quick recalibration, right?
Yeah.
So I had said to you that I've always been a writer, always been a storyteller, always been a filmmaker. But I'd never done any bilingual writing before. Mm-hmm. So when my daughter came home that day to say to me, "Oh, mommy, we're celebrating International Day in my school or at my school, and we want to celebrate multicultural stories, and my teacher is inviting you to come and tell us a story in my native language," my initial reaction was, do I have time for that? what Yoruba book will I have to quickly go and buy so that I can go ahead and say the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my husband said to me, "Hey, madam, you're a storyteller, and this is up your alley, right? And your language is Yoruba. If you want to give your daughter a sense of identity and
Yeah.
placement, right, you should champion this." And so I said, "Okay, no problem." So I wrote the story first in English and
Mm-hmm.
then translated it in Yoruba, and it was so well received at her school. Oh my goodness! All the classmates, my daughter was a bit shy though. She was a bit embarrassed in school that day. But every other person, every other classmate was so engrossed. And one thing I took away from them was their willingness to learn, that open-mindedness to see language beyond their own normalcy. And one thing they kept on cursing was Kinu as lion, right? They would say to me, "What does this mean?" And I really was blessed with that experience, because it just made me understand that if you teach children the way to go, it doesn't matter what background, what race we are from,
Mm-hmm.
children are sponges. And when you show them that they should have a heart and a posture to embrace people from all races, they do, because they really have sweet and innocent hearts. And that's one thing I took away from them, their engagement and their willingness to learn the names of the animals in Yoruba.
Wow, that is so amazing. If you can go on Amazon and pick up that copy, your own copy of the book. Do you want to tell us the title?
Yes, so it's a bilingual storybook, Yoruba and English. It's called Àwọn Ọ̀rẹ́ Igbó.
Okay.
So Forest Friends series. Yeah, so we have three of them. We have Turuku,
Yeah.
Tolewa. We have Kiniun Onigboya. And then we
Wow.
have Eri. And so I feel like the most important thing is parents should not be afraid to sit with their children, because when you come here, you really don't speak your
Yeah.
native language.
A lot
because
of
we're
people.
interacting with other people. But when you sit with your children and you pronounce the words together and you go through it together, it's a bonding experience. And for them, you're rooting them in culture, you're rooting them in tradition, but most importantly, you're rooting them in identity. And
Yeah.
that way they can see that they've come from somewhere.
You know one thing, Taiwo, I've said it before on this show when I had someone who also did something similar with us, and I said one thing I've lost love about the Asians, the Indians, they're part of Asia, the Indians, the Chinese, the people from Pakistan and the likes, the Arabians. When you see them in places like this, in the UK, in Canada, in USA, they speak their language to their children. And I'm wondering why we Africans and some Caribbeans can't speak, they will not just bother. And then most of the children don't know anything. And talking about parenting, what is our role? What is the role of storytelling in discipling and influencing our children?
Okay, so one thing I say as a storyteller is that you cannot do without stories. Most of our communication, in fact, I would say 90% of our communication comes in story form. Every human is inherently a storyteller. If I said to you now, Kemi, the meeting you attended yesterday, how was it? You're not going to answer me in matrix and data points. You're going to answer me with a story. You're going to tell me the emotions, the key moments, the outcomes. You tell me about how it made you feel. And that is storytelling in action. And so raising your children with storytelling is really about controlling narratives. I always say this, every storyteller is a narrative former. When you sit down to watch a film, you are looking at the subjective point of view of the creator of that film. So if somebody comes and says, "Oh, watch this film," right? And you're watching it, you are watching the point of view of the director, of the screenwriter. And that's a story forming ability, right? So if I am going to raise my children and tell them stories, I'm using stories a worldview. You must tell your children stories, because it's no story is objective. Even when a story is factual in quotes, right? It's still subjected to somebody's point of view. If I said to you, Feikemi, as a Nigerian, tell me about Nigeria, you're going to tell me about Nigeria based on your own lens.
Yeah.
Somebody else might tell me about Nigeria based on their own lens.
True.
Now, if I am from Puerto Rico, I've never been to Nigeria before. I am it depends on the point of view that I am exposed to that I would know or see Nigeria through. So story is a very powerful yet subtle tool in discipleship, and that's one thing many people fail to realize. So for me, I feel like for you to instill values to your children, values of respect, values of love, values of unity, of honor, you should say it through storytelling. It's not every time you preach at children, I hit them with words. Sometimes you just show them a story and the consequences, or show them the outcomes, or the appraisal that comes with value system through storytelling. So I feel like we can't run away from it. So parents should know how to strategically wield storytelling for their own advantage.
Okay, thank you so much for that. If you're just joining us live on Radio Africana on radio, or you're just joining us on TikTok, what we're talking is that wherever you are in the world, especially for people that have migrated, that you should dream big. Don't be caught up and don't relegate yourself to that just not 9 to 5 that you do. Don't relegate yourself to that healthcare job, or maybe that cleaning job, or maybe that education job, or maybe you are a nurse, or maybe you are a doctor. But before you migrated, there are so many things that you like to do, but because you migrated, you don't have time for it anymore. Some people back at home, they love cooking, they cook and all that. They've got maybe they're into events and all that, and they come back here because they are so used to their 9 to 5, they forget their dreams, they forget their passion, and that is what we're talking about here. And I've got a storyteller. She's been telling us amazing story. Why Yoruba? I know maybe because you speak Yoruba, but why was language preservation important to you? Why should we preserve our language? This is a family room, and we talk about parenting children and family life. So why should we, as parents, preserve our language? Why is it important? Why is it important to you, Taiwo?
Yeah, Feikemi, we came from somewhere, and you cannot go forward if you don't know where you are coming from. It's part of our essence, right? And I know that, in fact, I would say that the Yoruba people, we can do better in, I know that, how when you look at Nigeria holistically, that the Nigerian people are very into education. And we know that our Igbo brothers are more business oriented. And so I feel like even that Yoruba education and exposure sometimes makes us feel like, oh yeah, because we are so exposed, then our exposure should now eradicate our language, right? And even for me, myself, it's a conscious effort. To be honest, I sat with my mom after I'd written it out to say, okay, have I written this thing as efficiently and true to the words? And she helped me in some places. So that is also a self-reflection that even while I'm trying, I can do more. Now, I'm also translating this story in Igbo because my mother-in-law is an Igbo woman.
Wow.
So I sent the story
Interesting.
to her. I said, "Mommy, people are asking me for it in the Igbo language. Can you help me?" And so she's done it for me, and that's coming out soon. So I feel like it's, and the reaction and the response to these books have been so great. In fact, I was like, can you imagine something that was just so random has become something that people from America are buying, they are calling me, they're buying. I have friends from different
because there's nothing because a lot of them don't even have, Taiwo, a lot of them don't even have time to teach their children Yoruba or teach them their local dialects. So but you migrating, has migration delay your dreams or refine them? And have you always wanted to be, I know you've been a filmmaker, but that's birth you now been writing book. So did you always want to be a writer, and has migration delay your dreams or refine them? Because a lot of people say, because I've migrated, or a lot of people say people have migrated, they're not doing very well, they're not okay, and all that. How about you? And what are you going to say to every other person out there that have migrated? What are you going to say to every parent that have migrated?
Well, for me personally, Kemi, migration has definitely refined me or refined my dreams because when I came here a couple of years ago, I came for my master's in innovation, creativity, and leadership. And so that was just layered on what I was doing before. And I feel like when people come here, definitely sometimes there's a sidetrack, and we need to give ourselves a lot of credit for that because we are rebuilding. And so while you are rebuilding, be patient with yourself, right? If there's something that God has put in your heart that you found out that you had to let it go when you came here, be patient with yourself, because eventually, right, if you pace yourself, you can go for survival, but now with intention, now try to find time during the day to invest in that thing and to rebuild from scratch. So for me personally, it has helped me refine my own gifts and my own call.
Okay. So how about the children? How are you as a parent stewarding your children's learning? And how should parents out there listening stewards their children's learning?
I feel like it's a lot of intention, Kemi. I'm very blessed that my husband and I are we are mindful of the children, we are present, and we both work from home. So it's easy. And to be honest, my husband scores excellently on this point. He's their math tutor, their English tutor.
Wow. I'm going to tell him to start with my own children too.
Even a friend of mine recently said, "Oh, I'm going to be bringing my kids for you to teach them." And it's not because he has all the time in the world. He's an IT professional, but there's something called intention. What's your legacy? At the end of the day, you go home to heaven, but your true legacy is really the children that you have built and invested so much time and intention in built. Many of the time, most of the times, they are still the ones that would steward, that thing that you built and left behind. So you have to be intentional. I know that some parents, work 16 hours, work 12, and I understand that you have to survive. I really do. But I feel like if we sit down and structure to say, okay, because of the children, how do we ensure that at least one parent is always with them, and not just be with them physically, be with them with intention, even if it's just 30 minutes every day. Consistency is the key. It goes a long way.
Yeah. So Taiwo is saying it to every parent out there listening to us is consistency, having a structured life, a work-life balance so that you can have time for your children. And one thing I love about your story is this: you were stewarding your children's learning, despite the fact that you've got your 9 to 5, your husband is very busy, but you were also awakening your own gifts. For instance, you also awakened your gift as a writer. I know you are already a filmmaker. So what would you say to mothers listening to us who feel their dreams are on pause? What would you say?
If your dream is on pause, like I said, let's be truthful to ourselves. If survival is where we are right now, then it's okay. Be kind with yourself and give yourself enough grace, right? So if you're on survival, recognize it. But at the same time, don't take your eyes off your dreams because God has put it on your heart for a reason. It's blueprinted or imprinted in your heart for a reason. So while God knows where you are, dedicate time, even if it is just 20 minutes every day, to invest in education, right? In networking, in going to events, even if you cannot be in an event physically, and then virtual ones that you can interact. Because if you let the thing you see in your heart die a natural death, you won't feel fulfilled. You won't be happy. You will know that there's something missing. So you have to figure out, how do you do it? So, for example, if you're in survival mode, that's fine. But that every day you have 20 minutes to put in that thing, then as you continue to go on consistently, you find out that the balance begins to shift. Very soon,
Yeah.
your passion is rising. The passion is rising, and then by the time you build systems and structures, you find out that it's even possible for you to let go of the survival job and now pick up your passion as a full-time job because you have stewarded it with intention, giving it time and consistency.
Thank you so much. In fact, you've answered two of my questions that you've that I wanted to ask you about how do we balance survival and passion. So you've said it. Even if you're listening to me, you are a parent out there and you are in USA, you are in Canada, you are in the UK, or you are in other part of Europe, or you are in Asia, just know that it's not just about survival. What is your own passion? Redefine your passion. Don't let anything, the 9 to 5 or whatever you're going through swallow you. We've been talking to Taiwo Mole, and because of that glitch initially, we couldn't really say so much about Taiwo. Taiwo is a storyteller. She's a filmmaker, cultural theologian, and founder of Storypedia, a story consulting agency equipping storytellers, filmmakers, and leaders across Africa and the UK to shape culture through ethical narratives. And as a writer and producer and director of Gwaza, is it Gwaza? Gwaza?
Gwaza.
So Gwaza is a redemptive insurgency era drama about survival, sacrifice, and the kind of courage that heals broken land. And she's the author of Hollywood from God's Perspective, a bold cultural critic examining the spiritual architecture behind modern entertainment and the belief systems shaping global media. So alongside her husband, she also co-hosts the YouTube podcast Babylon is Falling, where they explore culture, faith, power structures, and the unseen narratives influencing the society. Amazing work you've done. But how can parents, I want to ask you, identify their children's talent early? For instance, my own children, I already understand their talents. There's one that we never believe can talk very well. Like maybe she will not be able to, not in terms of articulating, maybe she might not be able to do some things, when it comes to communications and all that, but now she's doing it very well. I've discovered her talent. I already know what she wants to do and all that. There's one, both of them dances, and one of them, she dances a lot. It's just that we've been holding her not to go on TikTok, not to go on YouTube and the likes and all that. She dances. Just give her the dance, just give her the music video, just give her the video. She watches within few minutes, then she will choreograph it even better than the person that did it all before. So how can we as parents identify our children's talent early? A lot of parents that have even migrated don't even bother anymore. Some are trying, but some don't bother. But how can we? And also, while you take that, do children learn courage from watching their parents pursue purpose? Like now, you are pursuing purpose. So when we pursue our purpose, do you think that's also encourage our children?
So for you, Kenny, I really believe that it also depends on the outcome of the purpose. If you're at home and you say that you have purpose and they are hungry, daddy is pursuing a purpose that is not bringing in money, it can lead to resentment. And when they grow up, they just tell themselves passion or purpose leads to nothing. I'm just going to follow the money. So it really depends on your outcome. Children get courageous about their purpose when we, the parents, have stewarded it with intention, structure that is bringing forth productivity and fruitfulness. When they see the fruitfulness coming out, when they see you take pride in what you have created, when they see other people interacting with what daddy or mommy has done, then they get that courage to step on their 2 feet and fly. But if they see that it is hunger that is happening with you stewarding your stuff, it will breed resentment and bitterness. So it really just depends on how you present that purpose to them. Is it being fruitful, or is there a problem somewhere?
Okay, thank you so much. Before we go on a break, you can follow Taiwo. That's T Spice Taiwo. TWESPICETAIW. So follow T Spice Taiwo on Instagram and also on TikTok. And remember, follow me also on TikTok. If you're listening live on radio, follow me on TikTok. Follow me, that's FK Mighty, and follow me, Fekemi Bangbushi, on Instagram and Facebook. And of course, my TikTok, my YouTube channel is also there, where you can watch all the episodes we've done. Amazing episodes that will speak to you as a parent, speak to you as upcoming parents, expectant moms and dads, speak to you, speak to your children and all that. So we're going to go on a break now, and when we come back, we're going to go into the family games segments. We'll be right back after this time out. Don't go away on TikTok, and don't go away if you're listening live on radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still the family room, where we talk about family, parenting, and the children. And today I've got with me Taiwo Omole, and we've been talking about, becoming dreamers, becoming one, raising dreamers and becoming one. Raising dreamers meaning raising our children to become dreamers while we also become one. So that's what we've been talking about here. We've been talking about passion, we've been talking about our dreams, and we are saying that we should not forget our passion and dreams, especially if you have migrated from wherever you were before and you're now in other parts of the world. Wherever you are, don't forget your passion, don't forget your dream, keep pursuing it. And like Taiwo said, that even if it's 20 minutes of your day, use it to train yourself, or to equip yourself, and also to help yourself regarding what you do. For instance, I always tell people, if you know your passion is to do, for instance, to do radio now, and you are here, you are an healthcare support worker, you can come to Radio Africana now and propose to start doing maybe some an hour a week or 2 hours a week, for instance. You understand? So because from there, if you do a volunteering work, you can actually use that to step up a bit. So now we're going to go into the family games segment. So Taiwo, thanks again. So what we're going to do now, Taiwo, can you hear me, Taiwo?
Yes, I can.
All right, so you're going to pick one. I've got about 4 questions, and I've got 2 in each of the question pot. So you're going to pick one out of it. I know what you pick because of your passion, and listeners at home can actually play along. So we just want to see which one you like. So in number 1, we've got passion project or extra shift. So Taiwo, which one will you pick? And you tell us why you pick it. You just tell us why you pick that. Passion project or extra shift?
Definitely passion project.
Why? Why not extra shift? To make more pounds.
Passion project, if you have something on your heart and you are not able to fulfill it, you won't be a happy person. Mm-hmm. That light, the thing that makes you light up, is what fulfills you. And if you are always sacrificing that, you won't be a happy, balanced person, because you will always feel like you are neglecting something about you. So yeah, extra shit can wait. I'd rather pick a passion project.
Thank you for that. If you're listening to us live on radio, or you're watching me on TikTok, please pick passion project, not extra shifts of work. 2, cultural storytelling or screen time. That is for your children. Cultural storytelling or screen time.
Definitely cultural storytelling. And because I told you that with storytelling, you control the narrative, right? And it's also active, it's participatory, it's engaging, it's interactive. You can even make up the story as you go. The children will ask you questions. But with screen time, it's responsive. They're just sitting down and consuming everything, right? So with cultural storytelling, you are engaging. It's an active thing that you're doing, and you're doing it with intention. It's engaging. The children can also use their imagination as well.
All right, so everyone watching me live on TikTok, we are not saying no screen time, but we are saying if you are from Puerto Rico or you are from Saudi Arabia, take time to do storytelling with your children. If you're from Egypt, take time to do storytelling with your children. If you're from Calabar, Cross River, Nigeria, take time to do story. How many things about your culture do they know? So you need to take time and do that with them. Number 3, safe career path or creative risk. I know you are into creative. I'm sure you say creative risk. Safe.
I think that for the answer here, it's really depending on the season of life that you are in, to be honest. Yes. So because even if you're taking creative risk can also become a safe career path, because you have entered something and you've now stewarded it into system and they are now growing. So it really it's just relative.
Okay, thank you for that. Number 4, teaching children tradition or letting them blend fully.
I think for me it's 50-50. They should know where they are coming from, but they should also be open to other people's culture and to also receive what they need for acclimatization, right? So they need to be able to speak properly. They need to be able to interact within the context of where they are, but at the same time, they should remember where they are coming from. So for me, it's a 50-50.
Okay, thank you very much. I do apologize for people that are on TikTok. If you can't hear Taiwo, if you're struggling to hear, but some people are actually showing that they can't hear. Might not be too loud, but it's clear enough. Thank you. So if your child's, so to listeners, if your child said they want to be a writer, an artist, or a creative, would you support them immediately? So I'm putting out to you on TikTok, and if you watch later on YouTube, if your child said they want to be a writer, an artist, or a creative, would you support them? Yes or no? Or you're just thinking? Thank you so much, Taiwo. I wish we have time is not on our side. We'll need to close. I want to say a very big thank you for coming on the show, and we're going to have you again later. Remember to go on Amazon, follow Taiwo on our handles on TikTok and also on Instagram. That's at T-Spice Taiwo. Taiwo, where can they get your books on Amazon? Just let us know briefly. 1 minute.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Just look for our Orego series, Forest Friends series, Taiwo Omole. You should get it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Taiwo, for coming on the show. And what is your final word to all the women as we celebrate them the month of March?
I would say, women, you have much more in you. Explore, die empty. Make sure that you also have systems around you that help you steward all the gifts within you accurately. So ensure that you have systems that you can build on, but die empty. If you want to go bungee jumping, go for it. As long as you feel fulfilled, please do.
All right. Thank you so much, Taiwo. It's been nice having you today, and I hope that we'll bring you back some other time. And to everyone, to all mothers, to all fathers, and even any child that is also listening, your dream is not expired. Your gift still matters, and your children are watching if you're a parent. Thank you for spending the last evening of February with us here on the Family Room. As we enter the month of March, the month of celebrating women, may you find courage to raise dreamers while becoming one. Good night and welcome to the month of March. I'm so happy. Bye everyone for joining me. Thank you to all my TikTok fans. Bye.